I had always dreamed of visiting New York. The tall buildings, the lights, the busy streets. But I never dreamed I'd find love there. After a tough breakup and a tiring year, I booked a solo trip to New York City. I told myself it was just a vacation. I needed space, peace, and maybe some adventure. What I didn't know was that the biggest adventure waiting for me was him. My first 2 days in New York were fun but also lonely. I took pictures, went sightseeing, and had coffee in small cafes. But every time I saw couples holding hands or laughing together, I felt a quiet ache in my heart. On the third night, I decided to visit Times Square. It was exactly like the movies, loud, bright, full of people. I stood there, looking up at the lights, amazed. But at the same time, something inside me felt empty. I had seen so much, but I hadn't felt anything real. I sighed and whispered to myself, why does everything still feel so quiet? Then, all of a sudden, it started to rain. Not a light rain, a quick, heavy downpour. People ran for cover. I opened my umbrella, but the wind snapped it inside out. I stood there, soaked and laughing at my bad luck. And that's when I heard a soft, kind voice behind me. You look like you need saving, he said. I turned around and there he was. Tall, handsome, a little messy from the rain, with gentle eyes and a smile that made my heart pause. His name was James. He stepped beside me and held his umbrella over both of us. I smiled, a little shy. Thank you. I guess I wasn't ready for New York rain. He laughed. Most people aren't, but that's what makes it fun. We started walking, just trying to stay dry. But somehow, we kept talking. I don't even remember what we talked about at first, maybe the weather. Maybe how crazy Times Square is. But it felt easy, natural, like we had known each other before. He told me he was a local, born and raised in New York. He worked in publishing, loved old books, and sometimes just came to Times Square to watch people. I told him about my trip, my love for quiet places, and how I needed time to breathe again. He listened, and when I looked at him, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, safe. That night, instead of going our separate ways, we walked the city together. He showed me a little bookshop hidden behind a flower stall, a small rooftop where you could see the Empire State Building shine, a quiet bench near Bryant Park, where the city noise faded just a little. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't a planned date, but it was the most romantic night of my life. The next day, he texted me, still got that broken umbrella, let's go get it wet again. I smiled like a teenager. For the next 2 days, we were inseparable. We rode the subway, walked through Central Park, had hot dogs from street vendors. He made me laugh like no one else. He didn't try to impress me, he just showed me real things, real places, and gave me his time. And in that short time, I felt my heart start to open again. The night before I was supposed to leave, we met again in Times Square. The lights were just as bright, the streets were just as busy, but this time, I wasn't alone. He held my hand tightly and looked at me. I know this is fast, he said, but I don't want this to end with a goodbye. I want more moments with you. I looked up at him, tears in my eyes, and whispered, I don't want it to end either. 2 months later, I moved to New York, not just for the city, but for James. Now, every time we walk through Times Square together, he still smiles and says, this is where I found you. And I smile back because, that rainy night, under one umbrella, I didn't just find shelter. I found my heart. I found the love of my life. Thanks for watching. Please like and hit the subscribe button.